Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Daily Triple, your no shit gaming news video. That's 3 news stories in one video with zero faff. Star Wars Battlefront 2 has made one of the biggest U-turns in the history of gaming. Everyone knows about the disastrous launch with loot boxes and pay-to-win drama. Over its lifespan, it managed to completely reinvent itself to actually become a decent Star Wars multiplayer shooter. It still wasn't perfect, but compared to where it started, it's the greatest game ever made. And some people actually call it that unironically. Last week, EA announced that support for the game was coming to an end, which disappointed many fans who felt that they were abandoning the game. DICE's 25 free content updates spanning all eras of Star Wars repaired the game's reputation, but now some fans wanted to take things a step further. Fans have launched a change.org petition, because they always work, begging for paid content to be produced for the game. At the time of writing, the petition has over 15,000 signatures, and the description reads, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is one of the greatest video game redemption stories of all time. From a disastrous launch to a complete success, the transformation of the game is inspiring to all Star Wars fans and gamers alike. Unfortunately, the game was cut short while still having so much potential for wonderful new content. New maps, heroes, skins, etc. are a must for this game. All those who sign this petition would be willing to pay for new DLC to keep this awesome game alive. Save Battlefront 2. Many of the reasons listed for saving the game involve mentions of how the game was only just approaching its full potential or requests for additional characters. One character whose name seems to come up more than any other is Anakin's Padawan apprentice, Ahsoka Tano. She played a significant role in the Rebels and Clone Wars series, especially in the final season, which is currently rolling out, but don't spoil it, I've not caught up yet. Others include Jedi Master Mace Windu, Count Dooku's apprentice Asajj Ventress, and Darth Maul's brother Savage Opress, which just goes to show how popular the Clone Wars TV show really is to the wider Star Wars community. In other Battlefront news, a group of fans have come together to create a thank you message for developers at DICE for the work they've done to rebuild Battlefront 2 from the sorry state it started in. The video, uploaded by Cinematic Captures, features short messages of gratitude and admiration for the team at DICE from various Battlefront content creators. It must be said that I don't think anyone saw this coming back in 2017. Who could have predicted that 2.5 years on from arguably the worst game launch in history that there would be any fan base, let alone such a dedicated one supporting the developer? I don't think I've ever seen people offering to actually pay EA for something before. It kinda scares me, to be honest. The world's a funny place.
Now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Compare this response to the reaction Battlefield 5's announcement that content updates won't be continuing, and the difference is night and day. Maybe it's because Battlefield started fine and had ups and downs, but was never a truly excellent or truly terrible game, whereas Battlefront couldn't have launched in a much worse state and has risen higher than Battlefield 5 ever did in terms of fan reception. What do you think? Are you willing to pay for more Star Wars Battlefront 2 content, or is the whole notion of giving a single penny to EA completely absurd? The current Foster's Fever situation has put great strain on most of the world's economy, but some aspects of the games industry are actually booming. Production and manufacturing has taken a hit and resulted in a number of delays. However, in terms of actual earnings, many publishers are rubbing their hands with glee as more and more people buy games while they're stuck inside. Activision in particular is having a wonderful time of it, as net bookings are up by 21% for the quarter year over year. Quote, Activision Blizzard exceeded its first quarter outlook, driven primarily by our investment in creative and commercial activities for Call of Duty, delivering better than expected results throughout the quarter. We also saw continued momentum for World of Warcraft and better than expected results for other key franchises, as populations sheltering at home turn to our content for entertainment and social connection. These trends have continued so far in the second quarter, with business momentum accelerating further in April. Now, you may have forgotten because it feels like it happened absolutely ages ago, but Warcraft 3 Reforged launched this year. The remaster of a beloved game that was significantly worse than what was promised and was a huge slap in the face for the fanbase. Yeah, that happened in January. Activision Blizzard's stock took a huge hit from that, but now it seems to actually be recovering. But only time will tell what was the biggest gaming controversy of the year. Warcraft 3 Reforged, The Last of Us 2, or something we've yet to see. Jesus Christ, it's only May.
It's gonna be me!
Activision has apparently been doing right by its employees, something I never thought I'd ever say, as it claims to have been paying for its staff and their families to get tested while they work from home during the quarantine. The publisher has also donated an additional $2 million to its Call of Duty endowment program, which funds support for veterans looking to re-enter the job market. But Activision isn't the only company helping out during the Foster's Fever. Sorry, it's still difficult to say. Activision helping people.
Ugh!
GamesIndustry.biz currently has a regularly updated article which lists all the work game publishers, developers, and other gaming figures are doing to help. It's well worth a look if you want to feel a little more positive about things, but some of the most impressive ones are: Bethesda is donating $1 million to Foster's Fever relief charities, including the likes of UNICEF and Direct Relief. EA is matching up to $2 million worth of donations from its staff to relief efforts. Riot Games has donated $1.5 million to relief in Los Angeles, which is made up of $500,000 from each of the two co-founders and another $500,000 from the developer itself. Take-Two, which owns the likes of GTA 5 and NBA 2K, will donate 5% of all online earnings to the cause, and though that's not a specific number, I'd wager 5% is a lot. I reported a while ago that Sony has established a $10 million relief fund to support struggling indie developers, but the company has also created a $100 million fund for charities fighting the virus, educators whose lives have been disrupted, and creatives in entertainment whose livelihoods have been put at risk. There are many companies doing great things in support of Foster's Fever relief, and if you want to see more, check out that GamesIndustry.biz article linked below. Of course, some of these corporations could be doing a lot more, especially when you consider that some of these CEOs are capital B billionaires, but at least it's something, I guess. After months of nothing in terms of marketing material, The Last of Us Part 2 finally has another trailer. It features more Joel than we've seen before and leans further into Ellie's quest for revenge. It gives some implications about the story, but nothing concrete and shows very little in terms of gameplay. Even without all the controversy going on around the game, I think it's mad that the game's marketing has been so minimal, especially as we're only a few weeks away from launch. Hopefully we get a new gameplay trailer soon, because it's really not very long until the game actually launches and we've seen so little. We've literally only had a handful of trailers and seen very little gameplay. Unless of course you've been watching all those leaks, but I haven't, so please don't spoil it for anyone. But just give me a game of Joel playing guitar and I'll be happy. That's all I need in my life. And as a bonus story, since this one was short, I know 4 items in a daily triple, what has the world come to? Cyberpunk 2077 will be getting news on June 11th. Who knows what news that will really be, and I fucking hate announcements, but at least it's something to look out for. The game was recently submitted to ratings agencies around the world and is still expected to ship on time for the release date of September the 17th, so hopefully this news isn't another delay, but to be honest, I wouldn't really be surprised. I just came across this story while I was finishing up my recording, and apparently in Cyberpunk 2077 you can customize your character's genitals. Okay, the quote reads, "The game contains nudity and sexual material. Players can select a gender and customize their character. Customization can include depictions of breasts, buttocks, and genitalia, as well as various sizes and combinations of genitals." I don't even know what to say.
Nice big cock.
And that's your lot for today. If you enjoyed this no shit format, go ahead and give the video a like to give it a boost. Hit subscribe and the bell if you want to stay up to date on all future installments. Toss a coin to your YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. That's all for today. I've been Henry Cooper. Bye for now.